Hi. Hello. This is a fun and exciting day. We've got new tools coming out today, which is all a very, very, very exciting day. For those of you who are just joining us and have not been to some of our live streams, this is going out on a number of different platforms. Today's stream is focusing a lot on some more red gianty things. So if you're much more into 3D stuff, you should stick around. This might be helpful for you too. So today, Maxon has introduced this new thing called Maxon Studio, and it's a great way for you to do motion graphics really fast and really easily. And it's really hard to explain. It's like templates, but if templates were good, if that makes sense. Like you can go and make stuff and it's customizable and it's smooth and just life is good is basically what I'm telling you. So instead of me just blathering on about it, it's probably a lot better if I were to show you. Now, before I start showing some things, I would like to give a couple of caveats. Right now, I am traveling, uh, so my internet is not great. There is a distinct possibility I could drop out at any time. Also, my internet's a little slow. So since a lot of the Maxon Studio stuff that happens, because a lot of it streams over the internet, may be a little slower than it'll be when you try it. And third thing, third caveat or second caveat, I guess, is this right here. My mouse has decided to break, and so I don't have any right click today on the mouse. So if if you need to right click anything, and you hear, like if I'm working and you hear me go nah in frustration, it's probably because I tried to right click on something, and my right click didn't work. So I have to like reach over across to my trackpad. Um, so I got some friends on the stream as well. You won't be able to see them, but we've got Daniel Hashimoto is hanging out, telling me things, and there he is there. And I believe we've got friend Kevin is in the is in the chat pod helping out, making sure that any questions that get asked, and things come through nicely there. Uh, so you all friendly chat folks get your voices heard as well. I have I have on my very slow internet. Maxon Studio is currently downloading. So as soon as it does, and as soon as it installs, I'll be firing up After Effects and seeing if it works so I can actually show it off to you because I am so excited about it. I think that Studio, once it becomes like widely adopted and once some of the things that are on the roadmap come into place, it's going to be a workflow changing thing for a lot of folks who work in After Effects and for a lot of folks who don't work in After Effects. The great thing about Studio that I really want to get across is that it's great for video editors who are not After Effects experts. And this very first version that's out right now is perfect for video editors who are not experts in After Effects. All you have to know how to do is make a new comp in After Effects and how to export it, and then how to import something into Premiere Pro. That's it.
Excellent.
I mean, really.
So I noticed a question from Dan in the chat. It said, "This is the first time I'm hearing of Maxon Studio. Can you please just give a brief overview of
Sure.
of of what it is?"
Yeah, Maxon Studio is brand new. Like it just released a few hours ago. So don't feel bad that you haven't heard of it. Maxon Studio is like if templates for After Effects were good, uh, is kind of a way to explain it. It's a bunch of presets and things, but it's different than presets in After Effects because After Effects presets can't contain keyframes, or it can contain keyframes, but they can't create layers. Like you can only apply them to already created layers. And Studio creates layers and keyframes and all of the stuff, and basically builds you an After Effects template and gives you really beautiful customized controls, but it's responsive to what you've got going on in your project. And what I mean by that is if you have a comp that's 4K and 24 frames per second, then your studio, when you create an asset like when you say, hey, give me this asset in Studio, it makes it at 4K at 24 frames per second. If you're working in regular HD at 30 frames per second and say, hey, at Maxon Studio, give me that thing, it gives you that thing at HD at 30 frames per second. So it's built for what you're working in, as long as it's 16:9. Currently, Studio only works in 16:9, so the normal video format, not all socially But here, if I share my screen, I can show you what a studio looks like.
All right.
Because hey, all the beta stuff is gone.
Ooh. All right.
Out of the way.
Okay, I'm going to go to your
and
screen
we are
then.
back up and running.
Whoops.
Voila, here's Maxon Studio. You hit Control, Alt, Spacebar, it will pop it up, or you just go to Window, Maxon Studio.
That's handy.
And you get this lovely
just do that
interface.
anywhere in
You'll
After
see,
Effects. Just
right?
Control Alt
Anywhere in
Spacebar, and
After
then
Effects. Control, Alt,
boom,
Spacebar.
there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so check this out. It resizes nicely. You've got this banner up here at the top. You've got Discover and Edit, and I'll show you what those do in a minute. But watch what happens when I make this smaller. Boop. They're still there.
I do actually really like this. This is is slick.
Now, I will say, when I'm working in Maxon Studio at a normal like desktop where I've got 2 monitors, I usually have the Maxon Studio window off on another screen. But I'm currently working on my little laptop because I'm traveling. So I'm just going to dock my Maxon Studio right here. Kind of right there. So let me open up my project file, actually, because it's got all my assets in it that I was planning to show you all.
The other cool thing about this is, like, I love that the UI is very slick, and that also we have a bunch of these templates that were created by Candy Mustache, which are awesome. So yes. the templates created were like artfully thought out, which is really cool.
Yeah,
to have a library that starts out that way.
So, yeah. So here's Maxon Studio. You've got all capsules, and that's what we're calling these little templates. You've got text ones, which are very cool, and you can hover over it, and it'll give you a little preview of what it's going to look like. So there's a bunch of text ones. I kind of like. I mean, there's a ton in here, all kinds of cool things. Let's see. This one's kind of fun, kind of jumpy around, and this one you can kind of see what they're going to look like. If you click on one, it'll give you a little more information on your side. This one's created by Candy Mustache. You've got a little playhead here, so you kind of like, see what it looks like and kind of move things around. It talks about it. And there are some tags here. So if you want anything that's got motion typography, you hit that tag and it'll
so there's a motion preview of any of these templates right in this browser.
Yes.
That's really handy.
Right in this browser.
And
you got text, you got motion graphics.
These are all, so once you have Maxon Studio, these are all you can download any of these. You can download them, you can apply them. You can download them if you think you'd like them later, or press that little heart button to save them to your favorites, so you can quickly access them.
Download, apply. That's 3 buttons. Favorite, download, download, and apply. If you hit apply and it's not downloaded, it'll download it automatically for you. You also have those same buttons over here. Favorite, download, apply. So it's got a bunch of stuff. You got motion graphics, you got text stuff, you got effects that apply to your footage that you use on footage. I'll show you those here in a minute. You got transitions, which are like a little bit flashier than the transitions you can get in an NLE because it uses a lot of After Effects goodness for you. And you've got backgrounds. So let's just start. Let's see. People kind of want to see probably what happens when you do it. So I'm gonna make it smaller back in my side here, and you see I've got a comp already open here in my project. It's a 1920 by 1080, 25 frames per second comp.
Nice. You got to choose.
If I go to Maxon Studio, let's see, is this the one I wanted? Yeah, I think I like this one. Oh, I'll actually say looped is a thing. So if you type loop up here in your search, you'll find all things that are looped. I'm going to hit apply. I've already got this one downloaded. You may have noticed. And when you hit apply, what it does is it does a bunch of things in the background, and boom, you've got your background. And it loops here at 10 seconds. It's just this nice little looping background. But so that's the little I'm hitting the grave or tilde key on my keyboard. You do that over any panel in After Effects, and it makes it full screen, which is a very handy way to work. But anyway, this is what the Discover panel looks like. But the Edit panel is where the real magic happens. You'll see if I have it full screen, I've got all the controls kind of spread out, but if I make it smaller, the controls all kind of snap together here. So we've got lovely controls. In this particular case, the angle of the gradient, so I can change the angle of it. I kind of like it where it is, and you can change the colors. So this is June, so let's do some Pride Month colors. Just kidding. I mean, I am doing Pride Month colors, but just because I like making things colorful in gradients like this. So the red, orange, it's not very good yellow, red, orange, yellow, green. Shout out the next color if you know it in the chat. Just kidding. Blue. I mean, you can chat, throw it out if you want. And you know what? I'll keep that kind of dark purpley color there. So you get this like You have control, and all the controls are right here. You don't have to dive into a bunch of pre-comps. Like a lot of templates have controls, but you have to like figure out where they are in the pre-comps. In this case, I mean, I can be anywhere. Like I could be here, make a new comp, blah blah blah, comp two. I'm in comp two. I go back to Maxon Studio, and I've still got the controls here. You see applied capsules. It'll list out all the capsules you have here, and you just click on them, and you can edit them right there, no matter where you are in After Effects. Let me get rid of that comp. I don't need it. But you'll see in my main comp, what's happened is it's created a pre-comp called Looped Colorful Gradient 13, which is the name of the asset I applied in Maxon Studio. Now you can go in here and you'll see how it's built, and you can fuss with stuff in here, like, and it won't break anything. But if you're like an After Effects expert, you can jump in there and do all kinds of crazy things. But if you're not, you've got all the controls you need right here. Well, most of the controls you need. Again, if you want to go real deep, you can dive in. But it's very handy. So I've got my little rainbow gradient here running around. And let's say I want some text on top of this text. I can do let's see, big title. A nice big title here. Should we do that one? There's a lot of big titles. Let's see.
So you're maybe? Staying right in the same comp, and you're finding a little logo animation you like.
Yep. Text animation, rather. So I'm going to apply that one. And you'll watch as it's applying it. It makes a bunch of things and then it pre-comps them. And so now I've got this. Or you know what? Let's.
That was actually cool to see it build out like that, because that's a really good explanation of how it works. It's literally loading in all of the different components, collapsing them like that, but leaving all of these controls exposed for you.
Right. Yeah, it gives you the controls that you're the ones you're mainly going to want. And you'll see right here, I've got controls for the looped colorful background, and I've got controls for big title 06 here. And let me move ahead a little further so you can actually see what it says. Now, I want it to be on top of my background, and I very handily have controls of the background. I can change the colors of this background, or I can just say be invisible, so it's on top of that background I had previously. And you can change the names of, the text here. So Maxon Studio, for example. You can change colors, all the kind of controls, again, that you would want. It's all right here. Control the line. Let's see, you could do the line. Let's make the line scale bigger, perhaps. So now we've got Maxon Studio and it animates in. Like, it's great. All the controls you want right here. Everything you can change to say, I don't want maybe the red to distort so much. Like, boom, right like that. Already it feels like it sits in the scene better without that red distortion. Just a little bit less there. Like, look at that. Boom.
Super snappy. Look at that.
Yeah, so if I hadn't been chatting, I would have had this done in less than a minute, honestly. Like, it's great.
So you can quickly browse through all of the motion previews or whatever kind of background you want. You can look at different text animations that come in like that. Go in, edit those. Yep. You could do those from here, or you could even be in Premiere, right?
No, this is all After Effects
right now.
Yep. Yeah, it's all in After Effects. But again,
if you're
if you're Premiere Pro editor and you're scared of you're scared of After Effects, all you need to do is go composition, new composition, pick your size and frame rate, which you'll know, and then hit OK, and then you could just automatically start creating the stuff here. Then you don't have to know how to render out of After Effects or anything. You just import your After Effects project right into Premiere Pro, and it works. It'll render right in Premiere Pro. No problem. So all you have to do is go new comp, and then all the rest of your work is just in Maxon Studio. That's all you need to worry about. And then if you need to make, like, if they want to change the color, you just hop back into After Effects, go into Maxon Studio, change whatever colors they need changed, and hit save. And then back in Premiere Pro, all those changes are automatically right there for you in Premiere Pro. So you can, like I said, you've got backgrounds, you've got text effects, and you can apply them in the same comp, and everything just works beautifully. If you're familiar with After Effects, you can dive in and change things, but most of the controls you want are going to be right here in Maxon Studio, which is great. And if you want to clear all of this out, so you only have, like, if you're like, I don't want to work with any of that, it's all done, but you don't want them to show up here, because I can delete them out of my comp here, and they're still present in the scene or in the project because they're right here in this Maxon Studio folder. I could do not edit. So it warns you. If I just delete this folder here, and go back to Maxon Studio, nothing's showing up here in the edit window. It's all back here in the, you can still browse, but there's nothing in the project. Hey, can you use some capsules? Hey, let's browse for some capsules. Now, I definitely want to talk about effects and such, or transitions. Let's do transitions first. Let's see. I got some assets in here. We've got our gamer girl here. She's a cool gamer girl, gaming, and now this is going to be some ad, I guess, about taking the desktop gaming experience to mobile. So we've got our gamer girl playing on mobile. So I want to say, hey, we're going to transition from gamer girl being a cool gamer here. We're going to transition to gamer girl on mobile down below.
I love when
and
there's any kind of like robust desktop experience that can be translated nicely to a mobile experience.
Right.
So cool.
Like, for example, Zebra is coming to the iPad.
Wait, what?
They're very good segue there, Hashi. So yeah, so we've got boom, boom. That's fine, but we want a much more dynamic transition here. So Maxon Studio has transitions. All capsules here, so you can scroll through them, but I want a transition, so I'm just going to click transitions, and it filters everything to just transitions. And I want a cool techie transition. I kind of like this one, kind of like that one, kind of like this one. You know what? I'll do this one. I downloaded this one earlier. I'm going to use this one. When you hit apply transition, apply this capsule, again, you'll see stuff happening, and then boom, you get this comp, and it says a little layer marker here that says transition. So if you want this flashy transition, you just need to match that transition point there to this transition point here. Easy peasy. You just grab it and hold shift, and it'll snap right to there. And now I hit play. And we render that transition real quick, and boom. There we go. So you go, very cool flashy transition, very glitchy, very neato. But maybe that one's too glitchy and crazy. Let's end this clip, and we'll bring in another clip here. We've got another gamer gal.
I will mention this love one, however, because Universe comes with a bunch of transitions, but but being able to apply them like this is so much more visually satisfying to me. I love it.
Well, the great thing about it is that it's a whole bunch of effects at once, too. It's using a couple of different universe transitions, I think, in this one, but also text layers and other things. Like if I hop into this pre-comp, you see there's like text and there's just all kinds of stuff going on. So now we've got another gamer here. She's not supposed to be gaming. She's at work. She needs to hide her game. But anyway, I don't want that part. I just want her gaming. And we're going to transition to that. I want a little smoother transition for this one. So let's see. Let's go with, there's so many transitions here that we could go with. Yeah, this is the one I liked earlier. I'm going to use that one. So again, apply it. It's got things happening. Transition. We'll just pop this over our transition point here. And we got our gamer girl on her thing. And then we'll do our soupy transition. Come on, After Effects. Are you having a problem again? Gosh dang it. After Effects does not, it didn't even want to preview this footage over here. Like, nothing is going on. Like, I haven't done anything. It's just acting up. There, okay. After Effects is caught back up. I am, again, on my old laptop, too. This is not my new laptop. So it struggles occasionally. But there we go. Nice, smooth transition that has a really kind of cool 3D feel to it. I really like this one. So gaming is for everyone. People in offices, people who are cool in their cool rooms with the purple lighting. Gaming is cool, I think is the point of this. So there's all of that. Transitions, very handy. There's a whole bunch in here. Of course, Universe has a bunch of really useful transitions already, but this mixes several of them together along with other After Effects effects to give you really flashy things. This one's a little more complicated. You need to know how to work with layers. So if you're a Premiere Pro editor, just stick with the Universe transitions. They're great. But, if you know how to trim the input and output of layers in After Effects, go for it. Works great. And you can copy it. Oh, also, again, for Premiere Pro, you can copy and paste out of Premiere Pro right into After Effects. You can copy your two clips, paste them into After Effects, and then apply this in there as well. So, really, it's not that bad if you're an editor who doesn't want to play in After Effects. I love After Effects, but I know not everyone does. Get rid of that. And hang on. Before I get rid of that, should point out that you do have controls over these transitions as well. So the glitch transition, you've got text opacity, glitch frequency, speed, like a bunch of controls over how the glitch looks, and the spin perspective. You've got chromatic colors you can change, and motion blur effects. Like, oh my gosh, so much control even over your transitions. Okay, get rid of all that. And let's talk about effects. Let's see. Let's grab. No, not you. We'll grab this one. We got this chap here putting on his makeup. And we will do some effects. And there's a bunch of, not a whole bunch of effects in here just yet, but there's a few. Got some kind of cool chromatic mirrored things. Now, some of the effects you'll need to know a little bit of After Effects stuff as far as how to like go into a composition, drop footage into it. But some of the effects, like this one here, apply just right on top of your footage. Kind of like it was an adjustment layer, but like more complex because it's got a bunch of different effects going on. This one takes a little bit to apply. It's got some trapcode particular in it. It's got some universe bokeh. Like it's just a kind of a cool mix of Red Giant tools all together. Now, for those of you who are familiar with After Effects, especially with trapcode particular, you know that anytime you apply trapcode particular for the first time to a layer, it takes a while. And if you're wondering why it takes so long, when other effects like levels don't take very long to apply, it's because anytime you apply an effect in After Effects has to index every parameter on it. And most effects only have like, 10, 20 parameters, whereas particular has literally thousands. So it's just After Effects taking the time to index every parameter. The Trapcode folks are talking with the After Effects folks about ways to fix that issue. But anyway, here we go. We've got our cool bokeh effect applied, but it's in focus right here, and we want to in focus on his face in the mirror. So we go into our controls, and we got position for the particles. We also have position for the focus point, and it's probably somewhere around, I don't know, 400-ish range. So now we've got it in focus, and we've got all these particles and bokeh going, and it's all just this one pre-comp over top of everything, you see? Boom.
Look at that.
And if you're really interested in how it works,
adjustment layer do that.
Dive in there. Right? Well, because the really cool thing is it's an adjustment layer and effects kind of all happening all inside this little pre-comp, and you just got the simple controls you need right here. But if you wanted to dive in and change other things, you can, because it's just a comp in After Effects. But if you're not an After Effects guru, you just play with it right here. It's great. It's handy. It's wonderful.
So cool.
I love it. So you've got so many cool things. Let's get rid of that. Let's just do another motion graphics-y thing. Let's find a Let's do. Oh, I should call out that there are like some of these cool little like weather icons and clothes and some social media things. Like, hey, let's get some light. If you follow Regina social media, you may recognize these two popped up a couple weeks ago in a social media post. I was a little sneaky preview there. You got some cool slideshows where you can drop your own footage in. Just kind of slideshow intro here, or it doesn't have to be a slideshow. It could just be whatever graphic you want to be talking about, but where it shows your picture or footage inside of a cool framework. There are also some callouts. We have the callouts in this category and in a text category. I think they're in a text category.
Nice.
Got little callouts like here. So if you've got something you want to call out in your footage, like for example, we got our cool skater person here. We might be talking about this location they're in. So you would say, hey, I want this call out to be the location. I haven't even downloaded this one yet. I'm going to hit call out, apply. And boom, we've got a call out. And we've got controls over things in this call out, like its position. Like say I want the call out to be, over here somewhere. Like the title, because obviously you don't want it over our precious gal's face. And point 2. Maybe we're calling out her cool jacket, perhaps. Like you could, and maybe we're just gonna want a little circle outline instead. Like you've got actually I like the original circle locator, maybe. Nah, you know what? I like the original one. Anyway, you have the controls you need for this. Let's see. That's not a leather jacket. What is that? Denim? I don't know. Jackets.
Amazing, Michael. There's one question from the chat that I wanted to bring up, which is I don't know how to pronounce it. Just FRS is the username. Hi, can we use Maxon Studio to store custom effects and apply them, or is it only working with the Maxon library?
Ashi, I do not hear you.
Oh, you don't hear me?
I am gone. Hello.
Oh.
I can hear you now.
Now you can hear me? Whoops. I don't know if the chat could hear me.
Yes.
The question is, hi, can we use Maxon Studio to store custom effects and apply them?
Oh, someone wants to store your own custom effects and apply them. Well, not yet.
Not
currently. But again, as we said earlier in the stream, yeah, not at the moment. No, we are obviously looking at ways to make this even more involved and more useful. And we're definitely looking into that as a possible future feature. And once that does become a thing, that's like if it does become a thing, I think that's really going to change how people work with After Effects, because you can make these presets and share them and keep them for yourself, share them with others. And it's got all of these controls. Just it's easier than Essential Graphics in After Effects for a few different reasons. So if you're familiar with Essential Graphics, great, but they can't like apply a preset thing all the time. Like it's so good. But anyway, so here's callouts. I would definitely want to show callouts. What else can we show? What else can we show? So many motion graphics things in here. Very cool. Unlock your potential. This one's a neat one. I like this one. Oh, text message bubbles. Both iMessage and Poor Green bubbles are available. So if you want to, if you're sick of trying to figure out how to animate your text message combos, you can do it here. What else can we show? We've got so many things. But it's been a long enough stream as it is with our initial issues at the beginning. So I think I will just say there's tons of stuff you could do in Maxon Studio. Enjoy it, download it. It's available right now. And make sure you check out Chad's actual decent Getting Started series on Cineversity. It is a fantastic series. The link should be showing up in the chat at any moment. And it will be he goes through like a lot more of the nitty gritty about how to use the different things and how it's all working. And also, if you want to ask questions of some people who made Maxon Studio, you can check out Mondays in June. There's the Create with Maxon series is going into how to use it in your everyday workflow for the next, I think, 3 Mondays. They're going to be talking about motion graphics with Maxon Studio. So tune in for that. Are there any other questions in the chat? Because this is your chance to ask live right now, and I am right here, ready to answer them for you before we head out. So feel free to ask. I'm going to play with a couple more things real quick while we're waiting for that to come in. Yes,
sure. I think we sort of covered it, but Ron had a question about what is the difference between universe assets and transitions in the studio. I would assume that's sort of like what is
yeah. So some of the transitions that are in Maxon Studio, most of them use some universe transitions. I wouldn't say most. I haven't actually dived into how they all work. But some of them use universe transitions. Other ones use universe effects, like Chromatown. Chromatown is a very complex effect for a universe effect. Most universe effects are pretty. I wouldn't say not complex, but they're not as complex as Chromatown. But a lot of people don't have the time to figure out how to use Chromatown effectively, and a lot of the transitions in Maxon Studio use Chromatown. But the differences are universe transition effects are just effects you apply to a layer that then reference another layer. But it's just the one effect. The transitions that are in Maxon Studio might use universe transitions, but they also use other effects, native After Effects effects, as well as other Red Giant tools to make a more complex transition. It's just more layers of detail, more interesting. Like some of the transitions here. Let's go to the transitions and have a look at them. Like right now, there's not a huge amount in here, but they're all really involved, warpy, bouncy things. And those, and there's a bunch of like reflecty, warpy, swoopy, like really slick ones like that. Like, love that one. And there's a bunch of glitchy ones that have like a lot of extra detail that the regular glitch ones don't have, like it moves or it's got text in it, like this one we did earlier. Like there's stuff that you just can't get with a universe effect on its own. But these are using universe effects. They're just layered with After Effects layers and other things. So universe transitions are great, especially in Premiere Pro, because you can just apply them in Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut or Avid Media Composer, and any of your NLE, Vegas, any of your NLEs, but that they all work in. But this is great if you want like layers of detail to your transitions that you just can't get from a single effect. It's just a bunch of effects stacked. Basically, is the point. Let's do. I wanted to do which one I wanted to do. I wanted to play with this one. I haven't seen this. I'm gonna get rid of this in my comp, and let's go to. I wanted to play with one of these down here. Let's do this one. I like this one. I like this one. Motion Creative, let's create. All right, let's go to our edit page. As soon as it finishes applying, boom, applied. Let's go to it. and we'll say Maxon Studio. Let's create motion design. That's all perfect. We'll just leave everything else as it is. And it comes in. It's neat. It's got this cool motion happening in the background to kind of like keep it from being too static. I believe that's using Spectralicious, which is a really cool and very underutilized universe effect. It's a way to have 6-point gradient colors, which is very handy. But actually, this renders nice and fast. It's got cool colors. I don't like that color though. I'm feeling more of I'm more into the blue and pink aesthetic. So let's go to the let's create and make this one pink. Into this vibe today. Maxon Studio, let's create. There we go. And just like that, Maxon Studio, let's create. And let's add a little bit more visual interest to the background. Let's make one of these kind of purple and one of these kind of blue. And just like that, it takes no time at all to get things customized. Oh, holy crap. I forgot something that is really kind of cool. You can animate these things. So right here, if you hover over any of these parameters, you can enable keyframing for that parameter and say, we'll say, hey, I want that to scale, down. And it scales like the keyframes aren't in this comp. You see that? I'm hitting. Well, you can't see that because you can't see them hitting you. I'm hitting you on my keyboard to reveal keyframes, and not is happening because it is keyframing inside the comp, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
Nice.
And you can remove the keyframe just by right-clicking, which I had to do on my trackpad.
and just as Michael mentioned earlier, you can open this pre-comp. If you're familiar with After Effects, you can just open it up, and it has all of the layers and controls and the keyframe that you just created and everything. But look at that. Like, who wants to have to deal with all that? Like when you're, if you've got some cool title text you want to fly in, but like when you could just deal with this and just the colors and do all of this stuff. Look at that.
I'm gonna make this bigger when it comes in, and then I want it to shrink back down to its, whatever the size was earlier. Like that, something like that. And then if I go in here, I think it's on that layer. Yeah, there it is. There's the scale keyframes I just made, so I can ease out of that one. Control Shift F9 to say ease out, Shift F9 to ease in, and now I've got, since I know After Effects, I can do that. So it comes in and scales in. I mean, obviously, I would want to fuss with the easing curves more than just easy ease because I am a pro. But I'm just showing you can dive in and get crazy if you're a pro if you wanted to, or if you don't, you can do basic stuff right here. Like it gives you that control. Oh, I should also say if you fuss with something like say the opacity of that X, and you're like, I want to get back to defaults. There's a little reset button right there that resets back to the defaults of that thing. So I could have on that previous keyframe just reset it to the regular keyframe. But there you go. You can reset stuff. I can't believe I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so there you go. Any other questions before we head out? It's very cool. I love Maxon Studio. So much fun. Easy to make neat things. You've got your backgrounds, you got your text, you got your transitions, you got effects. I'm mostly going to use it for these like titles, and these. Oh, okay, here, let's do this one. Let's just show this. Let's get rid of that. Let's talk about let's talk about graphs. This one may take a minute to apply because this one's fairly complex. Didn't take too long to download though, but applying lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of layers in this one. Like there's a ton. I guessed because I had all that. There we go. Applied infographics. Let's see what controls we have for our infographic. It's fun. That little text is moving. Oh, it moves in and moves out. Very cool. So let's hit play. Let's see what we got. All right, so we got data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got data. Let's edit our data. We've got colors we can edit, of course. Very handy. Let's do a nice yellow on that to go against the purple there. I like that. So values and graph bars. Value 1, 2, 3. Oh, all the values are right here. Oop, 17%, 77%. It's rounding nicely for us. All of these controls that's super cool. Sorry, I haven't played with this one yet. I haven't played with this one before. Ah, that's neat. We can scale. What's the scale do? Oh, it scales that value. That's cool. All right. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. So, you can scale all of them individually. Holy cow! So you can do call out. Oh, you would. That's why. So you could keyframe and call out this value. Look, and it just
I
it
think we
just
need to
works.
always live stream your enthusiasm playing with a new tool. This
But
is
it's so cool.
so fun.
Look at this. All right, let's do infographics. Not boring.
Michael's excitement as
Infographics. Infographics used to be terrible. Now they're easy and fun. Seriously though, I'm gonna make that little look. Come on. So cool. All right, data one. Info. I don't know. Like, it's so cool. Let's see. This is let's say viewership values. Let's say this is Hulu. Sorry, Hulu. Netflix. Disney Plus. Love you, Disney Plus. All the marbles. Let's see what else. Max. Terrible renaming. Should have been Maxon. And let's see, Data 5 can be what's another streaming service? Tubi. Very popular. Just kidding. All right. Tubi. Let's be more accurate. It's Tubi's. Anyway, I don't know what the values are, but look, easy to change it. You got your color controls all right here at the very top, because that's the first thing you're probably gonna do. The client's always like, that's not my brand colors. You can just put your brand colors in here. Got your After Effects color picker there, or you can type in values, and they'll be what you want. So if this end color you want to be like full black, you just type in 0000, all your blacks, and now it's. Does that work? Come on. Anyway, type in your things. 0000. There you go. Like all your controls, all right here. Graph line opacity. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Left arrow. Oh yeah, because it animates. Oh, this left arrow. Got it. Okay, left arrow opacity. That one. Right arrow opacity. X's. I don't want X's. You don't want those X's at the bottom, because why would you want X's? That doesn't make sense. Maybe you do want X's because it matches with the motion graphics you had earlier. Like, look, it's just great. This is fun. I'm gonna play with this some more. Hang on. Make that line thicker. But more. Can't make the line thicker. I can make the line thicker. I dive in here and make the line thicker. Anyway, let's go something else. This is fun. I'm gonna keep playing until someone has a question. One more question and then we'll go. But I'm gonna play until someone has a question.
I have a question from Creative Studio, VFX Studio. Can these be linked to external data?
Yes. In as much as you can link anything to external data in After Effects, you would just have to go into the pre-comps and find where the data is in the pre-comp and then link it, just like you would any After Effects thing. After Effects can import external data and use it. It actually has a whole workflow for data-driven effects in After Effects. So the answer is yes, but it gets more complicated. If you're doing that sort of stuff, you're probably going to want to build your own like motion graphics templates with essential properties and whatnot. But yes, you can. And not too difficult. You just dive into the pre-comp, find where the data's at, link it up with expressions. This is more for folks who just want to get it done real fast and just in the edit panel. But the answer is yes, you can. Let's do this little PowerPoint looking one there. I don't like it. I don't like PowerPoint. Ooh, that one's cool. I like this kind of blurry one. I'm gonna hit that one. Any other more questions? This is the last one I'm playing with. Then we'll be done. Unless we get more questions. Here we go. Motion typography. Comes in. Oh, that's real pretty. Oh, and that little motions keeps moving, and that keeps moving. These are so pretty. Thanks again to Candy Mustache, who did most of. I think they did this one. Let's see. Yes, Candy Mustache. They did pretty much all of these for us. There's more than 250 capsules here in this initial release of Maxon Studio, and just like the capsule drops in Cinema 4D that happen all the time, bringing in models and redshift materials and node-based modifiers and all that kind of stuff in Cinema 4D. Like every month there's new stuff coming. I'm not promising every month for Maxon Studio, but there is plans to be dropping more and more and more things in here as time goes on. So we've got more than 250 already in here and tons more probably on the way. I'm going to do my name. Michael. That arrow I don't like. Can I move that arrow? Oh, I can. Perfect. There we go. Michael. Creates cool things fast. Because I'm using Maxon Studio. Boom. Michael creates cool things fast. There you go. So again, go watch Chad's Getting Started with Maxon Studio video on Cineversity. Go to the Learn tab on maxon.net, and Cineversity's right there. Just type in Getting Started, or just type in Maxon Studio, and it'll be the first thing you get, or probably going to be a link in the chat here any second now. And also, Create with Maxon is a whole series that we're doing, Mondays in June. The first one that happened just a couple days ago was kind of like, here's the basics of motion graphics, kind of like the way to think about motion graphics, about color and timing and how it like influences your audience, stuff like that. Very cool. If you're not a real deep motion graphics expert, great way to kind of get a good foundational knowledge of how motion graphics work. And then this next Monday and the next 2 Mondays, we're going to be talking about how to use those ideas-based motion graphics knowledge with Maxon Studio to quickly crank out beautiful, gorgeous motion graphics that are custom to you and your clients' needs real fast with Maxon Studio. So again, I love Maxon Studio. Control Alt Spacebar pulls it right up for you. So say if I have this window closed, this window closed, Maxon Studio window, I've got it, closed panel, Control Alt Spacebar pulls it right back up. So great, cool. Go install it right now. It's great. Tashi, anything else before we go?
No, that sounds lovely. Go try it. Try it. Figure out cool stuff. And we're always going to be expanding and making it cooler.
Thanks all for coming along. Sorry for the issues at the beginning. I blame lots of things. Bye.